Hello, this is Ralph Brandt from the Fireside. I've been looking at ads that are running on TV and YouTube, and they are sometimes kind of funny. I also look at some packaging. One of the examples that's interesting, a couple weeks ago at our vacation Bible school, they had a box of Kellogg's Corn Pops. And it was interesting because it was clearly Kellogg's Corn Pops. Now, I sort of remember some things. Way back in the 1950s, there were Kellogg's Sugar Corn Pops. Interesting. The name changed, but the product didn't. I actually tested it to see that it was the same product. The word sugar got taken out of the name, but the sugar wasn't taken out of the product. Interesting. And I do remember those commercials so well with jingles played by, I believe, Andy Devine on the Wild Bill Hickok show, and I can't remember who played Wild Bill Hickok. But it was a half an hour Western with Wild Bill riding into the camera that was on a truck being driven so that he would stay in the camera view. Now, I didn't know then it was on a truck, but I do now. And some of these are very interesting. Uh, some of them are political ads that are terrible. Another one, another set of commercials for Liberty Insurance. Gosh, they are awful. I can tell you one thing. They sure wouldn't entice me to buy Liberty Insurance. Likewise, the emu ones for, I forget the insurance company now, but I can tell you they wouldn't entice me to buy their insurance. They're bad. They're just plain stupid. There's another one for Amica Insurance that I never heard of until then. But I will tell you, if Amica Insurance actually follows the concept of those things, I'd consider it if I was looking for insurance. As a matter of fact, put it this way: Liberty and the one that's the emu does, they'd be on the bottom of my list to look at. Amica would be real close to the top. Uh, there's one where there's a young boy in a car. Obviously, there's been an accident between him and the guy walks over and says, "Are you okay?" And then he calls Amica, and the girl says, "We'll take care of you." It was very much people taking care of people. Don't know if the business works that way, but it sure gives a good picture of the business and of the situation. There's some Wawa commercials that I've watched that wouldn't induce me to go to Wawa. But I will tell you there's one. It's a family in a car, and the mom who's in the passenger seat in the front says, "What do we want for dinner?" And the husband and the son in the back, "Pizza, hoagies." And the camera shifts to this girl who's driving, who actually turns and looks at the camera. And she has this smile that would warm up at least 3 counties. And she says, "Wawa." That's the commercial. But I'll tell you, it portrays something that sort of kind of grabs you. Some of the other ones are not that great, but they're not bad. And I'm looking at these commercials. And by the way, there's one for the Motorola Razr that would totally turn me off. It's a socialite dressed to hilt to go out for the night. And I'm saying, I have no connection with that. I don't connect with that at all. And I wonder sometimes what some of these advertising people are thinking, or maybe better yet, are they thinking? I remember the big flap over the YouTube or the what's it called, influencer or something like that, that did the commercials for Bud Light. Now, I'm not a drinker, and probably nothing would induce me to buy Bud Light, but those just didn't hit the spot. And the worst thing is, they didn't hit the spot for a whole lot of people who would have bought Bud Light. Matter of fact, it turned out there was a reaction to that I'm sure the Bud Light people didn't want to have. Maybe some of these people should get out of their ivory tower and get out and live life. Actually live it themselves. They do focus groups, but I'm not sure how they select those focus groups. And I'm not sure that any of those groups are worth what they're being paid to do. And by the way, they are being paid to sit there and answer questions. And I sometimes think that is an inducement to be a little bit like the advisors that one of Solomon's sons got when he got advisors that would tell him what he wanted to hear. I sometimes think that a lot of this advertising money is being spent, is being flushed down a rat hole. Because if you do not connect with the customer, you don't make it. I think some of the most effective advertising I've seen, actually heard, was done by a guy by the name of Gary Sutton on a morning show that he was doing until Cumulus Media canceled the show because it was too expensive. Yeah, and it may have been. Interestingly enough, Gary's on another local station in the area, so apparently they thought that the show wasn't too expensive. Okay, whatever. Again, Cumulus is a big corporate media. The other local station is not tied into that criteria. I will say this, Cumulus replaced the show with one that I think was good. It's called Your Morning Show. It's on WSBA 910. If you get a chance, it's worth listening to. So is Gary, if you are going to be listening to him. I somehow just wonder what people are thinking. Are more of those decisions being made by actual money, or are they being made by influencers who don't have a clue? This is Ralph Brandt from The Fireside.